Welcome back to my YouTube channel Rise and Conquer. Today, we dive deep into a timeless phrase that has echoed across generations: brevity is the soul of wit. Originally penned by Shakespeare in Hamlet, this line may sound poetic and simple, but it carries profound wisdom that applies not only to how we communicate, but also to how we live, lead, and succeed. So let's break it down and uncover the motivational power behind these words. The power of brevity. At its core, brevity means clarity, precision, and focus. When you are brief, you remove the noise, the clutter, the unnecessary words or actions, and you get to the heart of the message. Think about some of the most powerful quotes in history. I have a dream, just do it, be the change. Short, simple, memorable. Yet, these few words move mountains, ignite revolutions, and inspire millions. Brevity doesn't dilute your message, it sharpens it. It forces you to focus on the essence, the soul, the truth. And that's where true wit, wisdom, and impact lie. In communication. How often do we overcomplicate our communication? We explain, over-explain, add filler words, repeat ourselves, hoping that more words mean more weight. But in reality, more words often mean less impact. Imagine you're giving a speech, presenting an idea, or motivating your team. Do they remember the long paragraphs you spoke, or the one line that struck them deep? Brevity is not about saying less for the sake of it. It's about saying exactly what matters. The most effective communicators in history, leaders, entrepreneurs, thinkers, didn't win people over with endless lectures, but with clear, concise, and powerful words. As Mark Twain once said, "If I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter." It takes effort to be brief, but it's worth it. In life. Now, let's step beyond words and look at life itself. Brevity is not just the soul of wit, it is the soul of life. Life is short, time is fleeting, days slip by, weeks turn into years, and before we know it, decades have passed. When we understand the brevity of life, we stop wasting time on things that don't matter, on negativity, on distractions, on regrets. Instead, we begin to live with intentionality. Every moment becomes precious, every choice becomes purposeful. We stop chasing approval, and we start chasing meaning. The brevity of life teaches us to cut away what doesn't serve us and focus on what truly does. And in that focus lies wisdom, happiness, and fulfillment. In success, too, demands brevity. Not in the sense of speed or shortcuts, but in the sense of focus and efficiency. Great achievers don't scatter their energy across dozens of distractions. They know that brevity, focusing on one goal, one mission, one purpose, yields far more results than trying to do everything. Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things." That's brevity in action. By focusing only on what matters, by cutting out the unnecessary, he and his team built products that changed the world. Your success story will not be written by how much you did, but by how meaningful and impactful your focused actions were. In relationships, even in relationships, brevity carries wisdom. Think about it, what makes bonds strong? It's not the endless hours of meaningless conversation, but the moments that matter. A word of encouragement, a heartfelt thank you, a simple, "I love you." Sometimes, one sincere sentence can carry more love, healing, and power than 1,000 hollow speeches. Brevity helps us focus on what is real, deep, and true. The soul of wit. Now, let's return to the original phrase: brevity is the soul of wit. What is wit? Wit is not just humor, it's intelligence, sharpness, the ability to see truth quickly and express it with impact. To be witty, you don't need to be loud or long-winded, you need to be sharp and precise. True intelligence doesn't complicate, it simplifies. True wisdom doesn't confuse, it clarifies. And the same applies to our lives. When we strip away the unnecessary, when we live with brevity, short, sharp, meaningful focus, we create wit, wisdom, and brilliance in all we do. How you can apply this today. So, how can you practice brevity in your own life starting today? 1. In your words, before you speak, pause. Ask yourself, what's the essence? What's the heart of the message? Say that, no more, no less. 2. In your actions, look at your daily habits. Which ones bring value? Which ones waste time? Cut the excess. Focus on what truly moves you forward. 3. In your goals, instead of chasing 10 different dreams half-heartedly, chase one dream wholeheartedly. Brevity and focus creates success. 4. In your relationships, don't wait for grand speeches. A few genuine words of kindness, encouragement, and love can transform someone's life. 5. In your perspective, remember that life itself is brief. Use that awareness not to fear, but to fuel. Live each moment fully, because every moment counts. Closing. My friends, Shakespeare may have been writing for a play centuries ago, but his words remain timeless. Brevity is the soul of wit. Brevity is power. Brevity is clarity. Brevity is focus. When we embrace brevity in our communication, our choices, and our lives, we gain the wisdom to live with meaning and the wit to inspire others. So today, strip away the unnecessary. Say less, but mean more. Do less, but achieve more. Live not in the length of time, but in the depth of purpose. Because in the end, it is not the many words we spoke, but the meaningful ones. Not the many days we lived, but the moments that mattered. Live with brevity, lead with wit, and conquer with purpose. Thank you for watching Rise and Conquer. If this message inspired you, share it with someone who needs clarity and focus today. And remember, sometimes, the shortest path is the wisest.